he said a lot of things. He also spoke about, the issue of trust. He spoke about the issue of everyone to let peace reign. And now this. So for the women to now be demanding that the troops leave, the first thought that came to my mind is, this is frustration at work. This is helplessness at work. And it remains to be seen what exactly the odds are against the troops, what exactly the troops are dealing with in a place like Mangu. And experts have also spoken about, the complex nature of the conflicts that we are seeing there. There seems to be an issue of allegations and counter-allegations on the part of the residents and on the part of the cattle herders. So it really is a complex situation, but a crime is a crime, and law and order must prevail. Security forces must also be able to curb, excesses on the parts of anyone with no one left out. Absolutely. And of course, asking troops to leave, the area. What's then happens, if, as it is now, we are still recording, some form of killings and all that. Asking them to leave.
Right. I recall sometime last year, our reporter, Phenom Joshua, actually spoke to that effect. I think it was sometime last year or early this year, where he said that they were asking the police to leave because it seems they were not getting the results, like we are seeing again here, that they wanted to see with regards to addressing this matter or tackling it head on. And the matter of trust is critical between the people and security officials if they really want to get that result desired. So there must be an element of distrust or mistrust that is in, this whole circle that we are seeing, that is making them, the women especially, demand for the special task force, that's Operation Safe Haven, to leave that area, because they were brought there to resolve these issues. And if you're now saying these people should leave, there must be a matter on the ground. And I would think that it is to get to the root of the matter that would have to know how to address this issue. If you really want to understand why they are asking these people to leave, questions have to be asked. Why do you want them to leave? Perhaps they need to start interviewing persons, these women who are aggrieved. What have they seen? What have they witnessed? Who have they spoken with? That they believe that something is wrong and they want these people out of their community. Right. And if you want them out, so what is the solution to addressing the issue? Have there been a roundtable conversation to addressing this matter? Several times we've had conversations where persons will say that they had a roundtable conversation and both communities, talking about the Cattle Herders Association, accusing each other. Now, if you are accusing each other, something has to give for there to be some level of peace, because the level of destruction we are seeing is not helping the community or the people. How do we resolve it should be the way forward as it is. And we must begin to see ourselves as first Nigerians, humans, before you start saying, okay, we have a community. Was there any form of grievance or anything that has to be resolved? The governor at some point went to meet Tari Lagwaja, like you mentioned, and that was when he even said that we are going to move in to ensure some level of peace at the end of the day. But we are still seeing this matter going on. The matters of insecurity has dimensions to it, and I believe that all dimensions has to be looked into to know how to get a lasting solution, because the people cannot go to their farms. That is what they are saying, and we know that the women oftentimes are the ones who are at the forefront of farming in these areas. If they can't farm, how do they feed?
Big questions. And, while we're talking about, all of these, from what we see, we also know about the state of the refugee camps, because that's basically what, what is also playing out in Plateau State, in Mangu. The people there, the internally displaced persons, are in need and clear need of, basic amenities. Of course, they're getting some form of aid from the government, but
it's not enough.
When you look at the enormous crowd, when you look at the residents, when you look at the children who've been deprived of schooling and their regular lives, you mentioned farming, which is critical. for these women, for these farmers, and the implications are not even us who are living down south.
Yeah.
It's really hydra-headed. And you spoke about engagement, community engagement. I recall that, and you mentioned to that effect too, that the army chief also had a critical meeting with all stakeholders during his visit, and people spoke out their minds. And we don't know what else has happened before that, but apparently there does seem to be an urgent need for these kind of engagements to be continuous and not one-off. So these women have spoken out now, and so we expect that there will be like a round table. People should come and unburden, let the army come, be adequately represented. The police, if the army is there, what other support are they also getting from, sister agencies in the area? Because the army cannot do it all. They need the partnership of everyone.
Absolutely.
And then the issue of kinetic and non-kinetic measures, which the army has also been talking about of recent in dealing with crimes of this magnitude, should also be further explored to ensure that these issues become a thing of the past, because it's too sad. This is Plateau State, for crying out loud. It has a strong legacy of peace, of beauty, of harmony with all the divergent cultures that gather there, that live there, that seek refuge in Plateau State, and now having to see areas like this, more and more areas like this being at risk of violence in the dead of the night.
Honorable Minister, you're welcome.
There were Mazigo. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well, I can hear you.
Okay. Muchinekende Wonu, we salute you now. Super greetings to our leader who is in detention. Super greetings to our PM who is leading us now, because there must be a leader. We cannot go haphazardly like non-entities. That is what people don't understand. And super greetings to BIAFRANS back home who are making the world to understand that we are still fighting for freedom, and that we are in solidarity with every other groups that are asking for freedom in Africa as well. Super greetings to our Liberation Army who have been engaging the terrorists each and every day. Today there was engagement, and yesterday they came, they flew, and then they ran away. So today we've engaged them again, and you will be hearing this course. And that engagement will not be possible if we don't have every tools available on ground. So we applaud you that have been donating to the fundraising, to the website at your leisure time, and making sure that this liberation movement remains viable and remains very, very agitated. We salute you all. And to every Biafran who may have been a victim of one Nigeria in one way or another, we salute you. Your sacrifice and your courage is what keeps us going. That is what brings out the beast in us. Because when we remember the death of those that have been massacred, it outweighs those of us that are living. So the rage in us reignites and it fires the more. That is why we must continue. So we thank Biafrans who have sat at home since on the 31st of July till today. Today is the 10th day of the sit at home, and we keep counting it for them. And we see that all the criminals are sitting at home even after they make noise all over the place. It is quite shocking and interesting for you to understand that they don't make noise about MNK or IPOB or Biafra when you go to court, or when you just enjoy your life and go, and then you abandon Mazen Amdekano, you forget him, you forget Biafra. Anytime that you enact one civil disobedience for Biafrans to carry out, that is when you see that the whole one Nigeria will be looking for IPOB, will be looking for our PM, will be looking for Biafran Republic government in exile, will be looking for autopilot. They said we are urchins. That is what they called us. Even as you describe us as urchins, we shall continue to give you fire to your balls. So we are reminding Biafrans and lovers of freedom and our great donors that please Saturday is a very big day for us. We need to raise funds for ESN. We need to raise funds for BLA. We need to raise funds for the cabinet. We need to raise funds for everything that we are doing, because without funds, we cannot go to anywhere. We salute you all. Here is the flyer, and the special guest of the day on this very fundraising will be the defense minister and the foreign affairs minister on this very fundraising. So please make out your time and be here in this fundraising so that we continue and we get more money for ESN and for Biafra to be defended. The Biafra referendum convention is coming up in Finland, and that is October 20th and 21st. The accreditation link will be out very soon. So if you are going to Finland, make sure you go to the website, click on the accreditation, subscribe, and then get ready and wait, and then bring yourself down. We want to have more than 1,500 participants in the convention so that you learn and understand what you should know. There are some silly questions that some people asked when we posted the flyer and we posted the ticket format. Some people say, why do they need to pay money before they enter? Or why do they need to pay money to come? I am posing another question to those morons. Why do you need to pay money before you get visa to go to America? Why do you need to pay money to get visa to go to Europe? Why do you need to pay money to get visa to go to UK? All these countries that I've called them, or these nations that I've called them, have plagued you. They put you on the table. They dissected you in 1984 in Berlin Conference. In 1883 and 1884, they dissected you, Africans, into different segments. They gave this part to this part of Europe. They gave this part to this part of America. They gave this part to this part of UK. They say you people will now go and do what? Enslave them till eternity. With all your natural resources that are extracted, there is no single day that you want to go to UK or Europe or America that you get visa free without payment. You have to lobby for the visa and pay your money, but may they still give you a lie. They will deny you, and the money that you have paid, you cannot get it back. So the foolish people will continue to be foolish. That is why in this very time, we don't deal so much with foolish people. Now, we want to send a message to Ejimako and also to Kanunda Idiot. I know again. In fact, all the legal team of Nazi Nnamdi Kanu, because from A to Z, they have become saboteurs and they have become useless. Then, all the Southeastern governors and leaders who partook in the meeting that they were down luring the France or French ambassador into believing that Mazi Simon Ekpa is a terrorist and that they should lobby him for them to harness the kidnap of Mazi Simon Ekpa and then bring him back to Nigeria for them, just like they did to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. These are the messages we want to give you. While that your silly meeting was going on, our PM gave you people the testimony that he was seeing it live and direct, watching it how it was going. And you people do not go and ask yourself a question. When he said, I will be your end, you should have gone to go and consult all the native doctors that you have been using and ask them the question. Why did he use the phrase, I will be your end? Or what is peculiar about him? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And every human being are created with different species and gifts. There is a gift that is embedded in our PM, which most of you undermine, and you don't understand it. The more you go to look for his head to kill, the more you find yourself inside the same pot that you wanted to kill him. Now, Ejiofor has gone from different native doctors, done everything, send thunder, send whatever they want to send to come and strike our PM. Do sacrifice with goat and cow. to turn him to Sumbi, everything backfire. Last one where you go. They tell him, say, if you continue again, you are going to finish. The person where he carry go do the thing now, one can confess. He kidnap the person, he lock him up. When PM say, before you go and touch anything on my name, go and ask your ancestors the anointing that Chukwuike has given me. You should have asked yourself a question. How was it possible to kidnap Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra? But it is very hard to kidnap Mazen Simon Ekpa. You should understand that there is something peculiar about it. You know, in this life, you have a John the Baptist, and then you have a Savior who comes to be the finisher. We have been singing, Holy, Holy, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. But if you can look at what is happening now in this Biafra movement, you will understand that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was the John the Baptist. That he came to prepare the way, show the way, lead us to the way. Then the finisher now, who is the final Savior, will now have to come. He is the one that will carry the hand of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu like this, and then touch on the land of Biafra, and Biafra will be declared. That is how you will get to understand what it means for him to be the finisher and the Savior in line. Didn't you hear yet? Yesterday, somebody was singing, Holy, 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 Holy. My Simon Ekpa is another Savior. He said, keep it down until when we finish the mantle. Because we have a bigger battle to fight. And the mantle is still lying down. What you're seeing now is a preamble. By the time you get down to when you will see men in their real form, you will not believe who many of us are. That is why we don't talk too much. We only talk in line with the topic that we go. So that you will not come and say, last year you say you were like this, so this year now you become like this. So Southeastern governors, Fulani terrorists are coming to Biafra land to rape. The video Mangu just played now are the useless and foolish and empty-brained journalists, brown, white, yellow, white envelope collectors who collect all this money in the envelopes, and then they can sit down and sing the praises of Satan. They will sit down and sing the praises of Satan on NTA, TVC, Channels Television, Arise, and all whatnot. They cannot open their mouth to tell you the truth that Danjuma had told you before that the military are colluding with the terrorists, and that there is no how the same military can come to your aid. That they will only shield the terrorists. They will escort them to where they want to come and massacre. They will stand and wait until when they finish massacre. When they finish massacre, they will come and pack the debris of the people that have been massacred. Those brown and white journalist envelopes did not tell you that, but they sat down to tell you the army should intensify. The army should put the kinetic. The army should put the potential. The army should do this. The army should do this. The army will put the kinetic when next they are the people that have been kidnapped. Their heads will be chopped off. So, what am I saying? What I'm saying is that Southeastern governors and leaders. Now, what happened that Fulani terrorists is massacring people in Plateau, massacring people in Benue, massacring people in Niger, massacring in Borno? Is there any place in the north and middle belt that Fulani terrorists does not massacre? No, there is no place that is exceptional. They have their scorecard everywhere. Do you understand the point? So, instead of the Southeastern governors to now come down south to sit down, go and call the French ambassador, go and call American ambassador, go and call UK ambassador, Go and call Austria ambassador, call Russia ambassador, call every ambassador or ambassador chat or ambassador nonsense. You're supposed to go and call all of them and then come and say, how can you help us to stop the menace of Fulani terrorists? No, that is not the plan. The plan is for you to rather be enablers of the terrorists in Biafra land. Mazen Namdekano is behind bars. You did not call all this ambassador nonsense, ambassadors, ambassador shit, ambassador woo-woo, ambassador mumu. You did not call all of them and say, come and help us split Tinubu, which we went and kidnapped Mazen Namdekano and then we handed over to the federal government. Come and help us split them to say, please, we were wrong by misunderstanding our son that is fighting for our freedom. Now our brains have come back. Come and help us remove the shame in our eye. Go and help us beg the government of Nigeria. Let them release Mazen Namdekano for us. No, that is not what you did. What you did is to come, go and gather ambassador nonsense, ambassador criminal, ambassador putu, ambassador shit. Then you go and put ambassador at the end for them to come and sit down and plan of how to now come and kidnap Mazen Namdekano. Hey, these people will really have a very hard nut to crack in Biafra when Biafra is restored. Because we will have a place to take care of the saboteurs. And what will happen to them will remain a mystery. Because when you understand what it means for you to carry weapon and then fight war, and then you see your babies and children and mothers being slaughtered in numbers. You see male children from age 4 being lined up and then fired to death. They did not have weapons. They did not have knife. They did not have machete. All they were doing was that they came out, they lined up in number when they heard that the federal military government were coming. They went to go and sing one Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria for them, hoping that as they are singing, they will carry them along and they will not touch them. But rather, they said, line up all of them, all the male children of age 4 upward, and then fire them to death. And some of these Fulani terrorists fathered nonsense are the ones that you see today here now, mesmerizing with the lives of Biafrans that are living today and about to come to live. This is very, very pathetic and very uncalled for to see that Fulani terrorist elders in the far north are protecting their own Fulani terrorists, and they call them soldiers of the caliphate. They are foot soldiers. And they tell you, do not vote anybody in that will come to crush or destroy the Fulani terrorists because they are our own freedom fighters. But the mummuness, the idiosyncrasy of our elders in Biafra land is only embedded in their pocket. Only in their pocket. When you dip your hand into the pocket, you remove 5 naira and give them. They will sell off their birthright. They will sell their wives and children. They will sell the next generation to come. They will line up all their names. They will give you the address of wherever they are. Or they will tell you, go and kill them. Just give me the money. And go on. Go on. Go on. Regretted using money or allowing a UK to use the money that they should have given him to chop, to use it to waste to buy weapons. Because he said, if I knew that this kind of blood had been in them, there wouldn't have been a need to war. We would have just given them the money and then buy them off while they will go and cut off their brother's head. But do you understand the difference here? The difference here is that the Biafran fathers and mothers, sisters and siblings, uncles and nephews that stood their ground to fight one Nigeria that started the coup of 1966 in January 15 were not the ones that loved money than their freedom. Because if they had loved money than their freedom, like the Efulefus that we have today, there wouldn't have been a need for a coup. There wouldn't have been a need for them to fight for the freedom of every person in Nigeria. They did not fight sectionally for the Biafrans. The coup started in order to curtail the jihad that was looking everyone in the face to safeguard the lives of everyone in Nigeria. At the end of the day, it was then turned to become an Igbo coup, a Biafran coup. So if the gallant men and women of 1966 of July 15, who stood and fight their ground till 1970, were as money mongers and useless and idiotic, brainless, and foolish as the ones that we have today, in the likes of Iwoyan, in the likes of Popus Odema, in the likes of Soludo, in the likes of Peter Mba, in the likes of Wike, in the likes of Gospel Akpabio, in the likes of Ben Ayade, in the likes of Okowa, in the likes of Ikpasu, in the likes of Willy Willy, in the likes of all the nonsense and criminals that we have seen in offices since we started talking about IPOB. There wouldn't have been that bold step to fight for freedom. That is to explain to you that the men and women of that time were not easily bought with money. So, Iwanyahu, hopeless Odema, on all the South is nonsense that you people are. We are telling you to brazen up. Brazen up. Next time, come down to Finland to come and do the kidnapping yourself. Do not send people. And the convention that is coming in October 2021 in Finland is an opportunity for you to come and see Mazi Simon Ekpa directly. Don't send anybody. Come to Finland, October 20 and 21st. You will see Mazi Simon Ekpa live and direct. You will shake hands with him. If you want to kidnap him there now, kidnap him there, let us see you. If you want to have a talk with him, talk to him there, let us see you. But don't send any criminal around. Because some of the white swine made, some of the white people, some of the white swines, they have conscience. Some of them have conscience. It is not all of them that does not have conscience or have sold their conscience off. Some of them have conscience. It is not like the UK. It is not like the Americans. It is not like all the other criminals. Some of them have conscience. That is why, as you people gathered yesterday to sit the ambassador of France down, to tell him you want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be kidnapped and brought to you like you did to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they look at you and then they ask you the question, what is his crime? What crime has he committed? What are your evidences? He is fighting for freedom, and you have nothing against him. Same way you kidnapped his leader and lock him up because he is speaking for the oppressed and for the children that have been massacred. He set up Eastern Security Network so that while you kidnap him, the children that he left behind will not all be pillaged and destroyed. Isn't that enough proof for someone to understand the importance of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, before he was kidnapped, had series of meetings with Mazi Simon Ekpa. The question you should ask yourself, before Mazi Simon Ekpa will even start telling you what you did not know before, the question you should ask yourself is, why is it that Mazi Simon Ekpa was not in the pace of IPOB? But when Mazi Simon Ekpa interviewed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on his platform, after he interviewed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the next interview, the next allegiances that was made between Ambazonia and Biafra, it was Mazi Simon Ekpa that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took to go for the allegiance. Why did he use Mazi Simon Ekpa? Why didn't he use the DOS? Why didn't he use Austin Agbayi? Why didn't he use the other one that makes noise in Kuwait? Why didn't he use the African rep? Why didn't he use the Austrian rep? Why didn't he use the Europe rep? Why didn't he use the American rep? Why didn't he use the UK rep? Because what you don't know is bigger than you. It gets to a time that you need to select your special men. You don't go and select men without balls. You select men with brains. You select men that can stand the test of time. You select men that have what it takes to turn the table around. You select men that can stand the test of time. So with all this gara that you people have done since MNK was kidnapped, the next message that you had was MNK was kidnapped in June. He found himself in Nigeria, and then when he realized that he is in Nigeria, the first message that he sent out was, go and tell Mazi Simon Ekpa that it is time for him to activate the discussion I had with him. He should take over the movement until I come out. You should ask yourself the question, how did he know that he will be kidnapped? Because he is the only prophet on planet Earth that whatever he says comes to pass. After Jesus Christ, according to the Bible, because I did not see Jesus Christ. So after Jesus Christ, according to the Bible story, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the only other prophet that will tell you something and the thing will come to pass, and then you will see it. All the massacre he told you will come to be. It has been happening in one Nigeria. You see this coup that is happening in Africa. He told you that Biafra will take the lead. It will open the eyes of every man in Africa. And then they will come to understand the atrocities of the colonialism. From there, they will wake up to their slumber. They wake up from their slumber. They will wake up from their slumber and then realize that there is time and there is need for them to do the needful. And that is what is happening today. That is why we brought every people that were in the dark to limelight for them to understand the reason for them to start fighting for their freedom. Now is the time for us to keep the watch and then wait for the right time to strike. And we will keep on defending Biafra land until when it is time, their flanks will be opened up. And then as their flanks will get opened up as they are coming to Biafra land, they will head over to Niger. They will put their head in Chad. Before you know it, Ambazonia are joining hands with Biafra. Then something will happen. Boza, boza, boza. We thank all Biafrans who are standing shoulder to shoulder with us in this trying time, and most especially with our leader. The reason why you see that one Nigeria are using Ejimako and every criminals to write all the nonsense, blackmail and propaganda against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to bring up to the media is to create the division part and the endemic part, which you will come to the conclusion of start saying things like, oh, is it only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is fighting for Biafra? All of us are fighting for Biafra. So why should it be only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu name that they use to disturb our brain all the time? This is the game plan. So as a Biafran, as a media personnel, be guided with your words. Do not allow your anger to override you. We don't have any issue with our leader. We have issues with the siblings who are supporting the criminals enablers, the governors and the senators. So when you are addressing Kanu Kanu, when you are addressing Emmanuel Kanu, when you are addressing anything that aligned itself with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, be careful not to go off the rail. Understand me very well. Because some of you may speak in anger and then you go and say something that infuriates the existence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We understand the criminals that surround him. And for them to understand something very well, Biafra is not a family affair. It's not a family business. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's parents died because of Biafra. And we will continue to adore those existence because it is through that womb and loins which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came to be. And without him, all of us will come to understand that Biafra is here. All of us will not come to understand that we need to fight for freedom. All of us will not come to understand that our parents and women have been massacred each and every day. It is his evangelism and his message that draw us to the fore for us to understand the needful and to do it. So I am guiding the media now. When you are addressing Kanunta, when you are addressing Fine Boy, when you are addressing anything that answers the name of our leader, be careful do not go and say anything bad to the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because if not because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I will not be speaking. I will not know that I need to rise up to fight. I will not understand that it is the reason why Mazi Simon Ekpa have to rise up. There was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu who connect Mazi Simon Ekpa and connect all of us before we come to the realization that we need to fight. So what the enemies are doing is to use his families, use Ejimako, use all the lawyers, use all the governors to create this point of contact where you will now think of, forget Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Don't talk about him again since they are using him to confuse us. No, do not allow that to come in. Do not allow that to enter your brain because he is the leader. He is the sacrifice that we have. Without him, nobody will come to understand anything. Another thing you need to understand is that the reason why Ejimako is making himself the willing tool, he has collected money from One Nigeria and he is now part and parcel of the team of the saboteurs. All he does now is to come and write against ESN, fundraising, sit at home, and every other thing that we are doing to bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. Ejimako is a British citizen, is a US citizen. Ejimako is a US citizen. Ejimako is a US citizen. He has US citizenship. So what Ejimako is doing is that he has nothing to
and
do.
and his families as well.
Okay, his families as well have US passport and US citizenship. So Ejimako has nothing to lose. That is why he is ready to destroy IPOB, destroy Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, destroy Biafra Quest, and then he will go back to America to go and enjoy where he have his passport. Do you understand the point now? This is the reason why they are using him, and he has given himself in to be used. So when you listen to Nigerian radio, you listen to Nigerian television, and then you are hearing announcement that is making the round that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say he suspend sit at home, he condemn who is doing sit at home, he condemn ESN, he condemn who is doing fundraising, he condemn who is doing this, he condemn who is doing that, he condemn who is asking for his freedom. All of you need to understand the reason why. And he's not talking about economic campaign. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has given a 7-point agenda to the criminals, Southeastern elders and governors in 2017, for them to take it to Abuja, for them to go and work with it as a demand of what IPOB is asking for and the reason why IPOB are agitating. Economic empowerment was part of it. Make sure the bridge is working, that you can use the railway from the east to the south and to the north is part of it. Make sure that all the international airports in Biafra land are working was part of it. Make sure that the seaport in Calabar is working. Make sure that the one in Ikwacha is working. Make sure that all the ones in Biafra land are working, and then we don't need to go and discharge our container in Lagos. Rather, we discharge it in Biafra land. When the sea route is open, international vessels that comes in will come directly to Calabar or come to Ikwacha and dock there or in Ibaka, and then you will remove your containers without paying humongous amount of money. And then you will have enough to save for your business. These and many more Mazi Nnamdi Kanu enlisted. He also asked for all the refineries in Biafra land to be functional so that it will create jobs for all of you, so that when they refine the oil, you will have job to do. Then also, when the leftover refined substance of the oil is available, they will use it to generate electricity. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu enlisted and educated them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also said, let everywhere that they exploit oil, because it is exploitation that they do, is not exploration. There are two different things here. Some of you may confuse yourself with exploitation and exploration. Exploration is when you explore something to harness it to become something useful to the people. Exploit is making exploit of the person at the person's disadvantage, but to your own advantage. So what one Nigeria has been doing in the oil farms in Biafra land is exploit. They exploit the people. And after they finish, they leave those lands and rivers and streams and lakes where they have exploited the oil to become useless. And now all the fishes in the river will die off. The water that we used to take from there, we cannot take it again. The farmlands will be contaminated. We cannot make use of any of it again to farm or to get any finished product. That is how we now become useless. Most people have to drink of the contaminated water there. All these MNK had put in paper and said, take this to the Fulani terrorist government in Abuja and tell them these are the agendas that I am demanding for the Biafran people. So that was since 2017. Now we are in, after MNK gave that demand, that was when they bring army to come and kill him in his house. Are you understanding the point? Okay. Then God took him out of Nigeria to Israel. From Israel, we saw him in UK. Today, he's alive again, and then he started preaching for us again. Is it now that they have kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 2021, kept him in detention till 2023, that he is now inside detention, telling you that he wants economic empowerment? Why economic empowerment no go empower him inside detention? Now economic empowerment will come and empower people where they outside. Who is comfortable to stay inside detention and say, I want to die here, then go and give the money to the politicians to continue to enjoy themselves? Those messages does not come from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are telling you, Biafrans, to disregard anything that you're hearing from the Nigerian television, the radio, and even in the churches, because they are going to use the churches as well. And if you are a pastor or bishop or religious cleric, what we are telling you is that it is high time you started preaching Biafra to your congregation for them to understand what and how they need to do it. And I am telling you now that we are going to reach you in your churches very soon. The Biafran Republic government in Israel are going to reach you in your churches very soon to see what you are doing in your congregations, to see if you are fighting against the freedom of the people or if you are working for the freedom of the people, if you have become the enablers of the terrorists coming to massacre your women and children. Because after they finish massacre your women and children, all you do is you come and sing a song and do prayer and say, God give and God take. God give and God take, and then you allow God to use Fulani terrorists to take the life of the congregation that you are manning. You are not ashamed of yourself. When you are saying God give and God take, and then you bury someone that Fulani terrorists massacre, tell God to allow you as the pastor to be the next victim of God take and God give. So that when Fulani massacre you, the congregation now will come and bury you. Then you will understand what it means, God give and God take. Mad people everywhere, preaching the backside of the Bible. So we are telling you people now that Ejimako has British citizenship and has American citizenship, and he is working for America and the interest of America, and that is why he is writing all the junks, because he knows that he has nothing to lose in Biafra. All he is going to do is to zoom off to America with his family to go and enjoy after he finished sabotage Biafra. And we are not going to allow it to happen. Biafrans should get this message into their head and understand it, so that when they hear every propaganda coming from Ejimako, who comes to blackmail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with the money that he has collected from One Nigeria and from the criminal leaders that we have in the East, understand it very clear that we have made this statement. Let this message go to your people in the community. Even as we don't have radios hearing our voices as we speak now, we oblige you to use your phone, call your families and friends, and then pass every message that comes from the Biafran Republic government in exile to the extremities of Biafra land, so that they will understand the real message. The only person you should listen to and take orders from is our PM, and his orders will be coming out from this BRGIE media department. When the media is telling you that this message is coming from our PM, you have to take it and you have to imbibe with those messages. Those are the only messages that are right. Forget and ignore every other nonsense. Do not forget to stand tall. And whenever you hear of any gunshot in your community or your surroundings, do not run outside to go and look. Do not go to go and video it. Please, if you were outside and then you hear gunshot or you hear bomb blast, lie down to the ground. Now start crawling on the ground till when you get inside your house. Do not stand up to run so that you don't go and pick a stray bullet. Please. Why are we saying this? Because we are engaging the terrorists day in, day out. And at times, they leave us in the bushes and then they come to the community to start shooting at the innocent people. After then, they will carry their dead bodies to go and show and say, these are ESN. No, those are not ESN. Those are innocent children and people. When they want to fight us, they should come to the bush because anything in the bush, we take it as bush meat. Our message is very, very clear. BIAFRANS, stay strong and stay safe. Sit at home continues until Friday. Listen to our PM. That is the only prime minister that we have, and that is the only one that is working to your survival. Ndewo Muchineke. Mazuko, thank you very much.
Ndewo. Ndewo Shinde. Ndewo. Battle cry, you did the app, you know that. Now you be that happy. Okay.
I didn't hear. I
Okay.
didn't hear.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening. All hail Biafra. All hail Biafra. We must get Biafra. We are working under the umbrella of one family, IPOB, under the leadership of Mazen Nandekalo. And there is no other. I will vehemently deny and condemn every accusation of fraudulent fundraising. Any fraudulent fundraising anybody is telling you on the social media going on at the moment, just disregard it. Just an instrument of distraction of what we are going on now. Whether the Zamas or the erudite lawyers are just raging together to make sure that what we are doing are not coming together. Just ignore it. It's part of challenges. One have to encounter in a struggle. So once there is a element of truth, there must be an opposite. There must be some kind of what should I say? Irrelevant accusation. So let's be resolute. Do you know, Mazi Sonny, what you just said here now made me understand that there was something that has been keeping me back to tackle the nonsense that is going on the platform of that evil sibling, that is writing rubbish against the prime minister. I wanted to tackle him, but I don't know, something is telling me, calm down, calm down, calm down. The reason why these people are just raging is what I don't know. That you see, this guy is fighting DOS, he's fighting Chikedozium, he's fighting Simon, but he's fighting Ifeanyi Ejiofor. How many people is gonna fight for? Ifeanyi Ejiofor and Simon, but they don't go in one lane. And what's his name? Chinasa Nworu and Chike Dozie plus this guy. They don't go in one lane. And these siblings have not even ask themselves, what is going on? Come on. DOS is not in line with Ifeanyi Ejiofor. Then Ejiofor is not in line with Samuel Ekpa. Then Samuel Ekpa has been a dragon, against these people of what they're doing, how they transpire to sell our leader. Let the siblings have a common sense. Let them acquire common sense. Common sense is required. Honestly. See, they don't want to know what somebody is saying that he want to go and resume Radio Biafra. Who authorized him to go and resume Radio Biafra? Was he not the same Radio Biafra, his own elder brother, our leader, Onyendo Nandekalo, assigned to Mazi Simon to take over? Is it not the same Radio Biafra? He said over their dead body for someone to take over. Then they frustrated it. Now he's coming over now to resume it where he will preside to talk about fundraising, to talk about this, to talk about that, so that he will be in charge. Who told him that Biafra is a family business? Who told him that? Can he make a broadcast and try to raise 1 naira in his broadcast? Who will listen to him? He didn't know that people are wise. So now, what he's writing on his social media against someone is that he's making an evil money using his brother's name. And look, Mazen Nandekalo belongs to Biafra. It has gone beyond being a family issue of it. And, Biafra is in the hand of Mazen Nandekala, which we are following. His doctrine, if he didn't expose the truth and speak according to the heart of Elohim, nobody would have mouth to talk. Everybody would have been blind. But God have sent Mazen Nandekalo as a tool to come and open people's eyes, to remove the cobweb from our eyes, to reason like righteous people from above. That's where somebody is coming now because of people are coming together to rage or to demonstrate, protest against the detention of his own brother. It's not going against those people. Is it not satanic? This is satanic. Since yesterday, you see, when I think about this and I say, is this guy normal? Are they normal? They can never be normal. They have been bought over. How can he prove to me that his own brother was kidnapped for 8 days and kept somewhere in solitary confinement in another man's country? And they mute. They didn't talk until it was extraordinary redemption. And see, they didn't talk. And you want to come and prove to me that your hand is not in it? He has waited all this while. He didn't talk about Radio Biafra, but he has concluded his brother as a finished product where he is now, and they want to come and resume Radio Biafra. Who the hell is him? Who can you on way? Anyway, let me not lose temper now. Biafra, just be wise more than a serpent. Don't be wise like a serpent. Just be wise. Be wiser than serpent. Be wiser than serpent. Thank you all, help Biafra from here. This is Biafra Battlecry TV. I'm working on the street.
Hey, oh dear good. Biafrans. Well, everything that happen for our own good, as so they see and so it be. All these people where you they see, all these people where they see, they know they fight for Biafra. They are not fighting for Biafra. Now they know waiting that they fight for. Okay, now make I ask you one question. Kalon Takalo go open Radio Biafra, Abi Biafra Radio, anything they call them. Now, I want make you just think small. Kalon Takalo say someone ever know they do well. Kalon Takalo say criminals know they do well. Who they do well now? Yeah.
You even say that Ojiofo no they do well.
Ejiofor for
no
group
do well.
of criminals now.
Yes, you there for group of criminals. But how many is he gonna fight? How many is he gonna fight?
There's something I want us to understand here. You said that the people, evil, wicked, useless criminals, you said they are not doing it well. Then the autopilot that is doing the right thing for the freedom of Biafra and the freedom of Mazen and all the other illegal detained Biafrans, you say again they know they do it well. And you come out to say you they do it well, Kalonta. The only thing you want to do well is by creating fake radio to raise funds. Creating radio to raise funds, to steal money from people. Now be the thing where Kalonta they do will be the right thing. Because you see, all these people where you see money, not their problem. Money. Whenever you see them talking, they are angry because our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa shut their mouth. That source of the source of their criminality, he don't cut them off. And I be the way where they follow steal money. He shut up everything, every means, every way. All the whole that they are stealing from. Simon Ekpa use R0ri to come and piam. They cannot steal again. That is why they are angry. That is why Kalunta is angry with Simon. Okay, ask Kalunta. Make him tell you one good thing where Simon don't do against him or against his struggle. You don't get. Then why you open Radio Biafra? What is the agenda? What you want to do? Nothing. Kalunta, ask him, as your brother, when you said that your brother dead there for over how many years? When did you see him last? Almost 2 years now. You don't see him. You know if you go see your brother, when you say that your brother, you the work for my people, you see both to Kalunta Kalu, both the criminals, so both the one where they work like on proof for Nigeria, will be a Malelo fine boy. All of them, both the one where say name Lusheshi, all of them are in the same motto. And at that same motto, now carry all of them the worker. And they tell you the truth. The same thing, now all of them the worker inside. And they don't get anything to say or to tell. The only thing where they get to tell now is to confess what they don't do. All their evil, all their atrocities. All the evil what they do. They are planning to come to Finland, Abi. Now, this occasion don't come out. When they come out to come go Finland. This occasion is open invitation for them to come to Finland. Come there, come arrest Simon. Send your Interpol as soon as send go kidnap Mazen and Galo. China Saworu, send your Interpol. If I you send your Interpol. If I need your call Ejima for Ejia chief, Ejima for Juaba, Ejima for Juaba. All of you send your Interpol come. Today, their anger is that Simon is raising funds for ESN. And let me tell you, anybody that is fighting against the fund, ESN fund or Biafra Liberation Army fund, is trying to paralyze everything we are doing. Because when you remove ESN, remove Biafra Liberation Army, no need of we stay here and make everybody go house. That is why they are fighting to stop the fund, so that nobody go fit fund the ESN or the army again, so that everything go finish. And this is the original plan. Immediately they kidnap Mazen and Kalo. That criminal bleaching cream content you say ESN, all you do say make they go home. So now you see what we are saying. All these people are criminals. Alo Ejimaka today, Ejimaka or Ejimako. Excuse me. Today, they go about the right letter here and there. They do here and there. He's now fighting. Alo Ejimako now is a full, what do you call it? He don't become IPOB again, just like his brother Ifeanyi he is a member of IPOB. They are no longer lawyers. Very soon, you go see Mike Ezekom. He go come out to fool. They watch him. You go see come out full. Come the fight Biafra agitation. They are fighting against Simon. All the evil people in this thing, what will they do? They go bow. They must bow. I promise you. We don't get choice. But to continue,
they must bow. They must bow completely.
We must continue. Now I believe
Yes.
where I know that if you know that you love yourself, that you love your family, it's time you begin to fight for Biafra, because nobody will save you but yourself.
Because what I am saying on Abumanyamini, our people are lame. They are weak. I am struggling to count how many men there are in Biafra land. There are no more men left. Weak, docile, and imbecilic. Weak. I don't know how we can take such people to war. I don't know how we can take men who are not men into battle and win. I am ashamed. Very, very ashamed. Nonetheless, we must preach this very gospel because man did not ask us to come. Chukwa Abiyama in heaven mandated that we should come. If not, that I was called to do this very work, I will not speak to any of you anymore. But Chukwa Abiyama said this very gospel must be preached, and we must preach it. I have prayed since yesterday up until now. My request is very simple. The same prayer I made in secret, I will make out here in the open. Chukwa Abiyama Biko, since it is your intention that your kingdom will be restored upon this very earth, I need men. I need men. I did not say boys. I said I need men. Those of them that you created to restore your kingdom, they should come forward now, not tomorrow, not next year. Chukwa Abiyama. You must bring them now. I did not say tomorrow. Because the insult is too much. It is beyond what any human being can endure. We want to go and get Biafra, or we die in the process, because we are better off dead than witness some of this nonsense going on. The level of insult is beyond what any decent human being can tolerate. I was an Nama. They bring their cattle into our land. They desecrate our land. They kill us in the presence of our families and nobody does anything about it. And when the police attend, the police sit idly by as people are being killed by not a multitude of people. Only 4. Only 4 Awasa people can sack an entire village in Biafra land, and we call ourselves men. No, we are not men. Until we redeem our honor. Until we look at integrity and say, we must have a part of it. Until then, to be honest with you. This is Radio Biafra. Now is the time to come forward. I did not say tomorrow. Now, tonight, is the time to come forward. 100 of us, and then we march. 100 and we march. The rest can come later if they want to. I am tired of broadcasting. I want to fight for my country. I want to carry arms to defend the honor and integrity of my country. I want to avenge the death of 6 million people. I want Biafra to stand as a beacon of hope, freedom, and liberty in black world. I want Biafra to stand as a testament to the glory of heaven upon the face of this very earth. I want Biafra to stand because my obligation to the dead outweigh that which I owe to the living. That is why Biafra will stand, and Biafra will come. 100 men, that's all. And we march. The rest can come later on. I no longer give a damn. The disgrace and the insult is too much. We must go and meet our enemies even if we have only machete and hoes. It is far more better for us to go and meet them and die with a semblance of dignity than with this very humiliation which we encounter every blessed day. We must assemble as quickly as possible.
I'm the leader of IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra all over this planet. We are in over 100 countries and counting. We are the largest mass movement on the surface of this very earth, bar none. We are a juggernaut, unstoppable. There is nothing anybody can do, not now, not tomorrow, not ever. We are unstoppable. Our march is towards Biafra. To restore Biafra, nothing more, nothing less. And this very generation of IPOB will accomplish it. Do you want to know why we will accomplish it? Because we always put Chukwukika Abiyama first. God Almighty in heaven is number one. That is why we worship him and him alone. That is why we bow not down before any idol. And I never r0ri. I don't worship idol. And because of that, Elohim said, as long as you proclaim my name in every truth and every honesty, Biafra will come in your time. And because his words are yea and amen, anything he says must come to pass. That is why we have stuck only onto this path of redemption, in truth and in every honesty. That heaven and earth may bear us witness that they came and they proclaimed the salvation of God Almighty in heaven. Their cries and their prayers were listened to, and they were set free. When I say that this is the last miracle on the face of this very earth, I meant it. And with everything that's happening around us, you now understand the enormity of the task that awaits us. What we must do to be free. That is why we are gathered this evening, morning, afternoon, night, depending on where you are. Because for those in Japan, I think it's about 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. For those in Malaysia, Indonesia, I think maybe it's about 2 a.m. in the morning or thereabout. For those of you in Los Angeles, it is 10 a.m. in the morning of Sunday. That's how it is, because the world keeps rotating all the time. When it is your morning in your time zone, it could be somebody's tea time, it could be somebody's breakfast, it could be somebody else's dinner, somewhere. That's how the world rolls. It waits for no one. When they say time waits for no one, is because regardless of what happens, the earth will keep rotating around the sun. It will never stop. Every blessed day, the earth is rotating at over 1,000 miles per hour. But you don't feel it. Because the grace and the miracle of creation is with us. Elohim is with us, and we must worship him. This very evening, as we have always done. But I am going to pray a slightly different prayer in the language of heaven. Igbo language is the language of heaven, the oldest language on the face of the earth by none. Everything I say, I have proof. I don't say something that I don't know. Everything I say, there is proof. And I'm also going to prove it to all of you tonight, should you dare or challenge me to do so. And I'm going to pray. I wouldn't call it a prayer. It is a prayer, of course, because we're requesting something from heaven. We are going to pray a prayer of the 10 Commandments. And do you know why we pray this prayer? Because even those that founded the USA, United States of America, if you go to some areas in the USA, you will see a tablet proclaiming the 10 Commandments. And why is it very important that we pray this evening, alluding to the 10 Commandments? Because that will be the very basic foundation upon which Biafra will rest. I repeat, the 10 Commandments of God that nobody disputes, not even Islam, everybody believes in it. That is the pillar upon which we are going to rest this new Biafra. That is my promise to God in heaven. And this evening I will affirm it. Biafra will be a godly nation. Secular, yes, because you can practice whatever you want to practice, but it must be anchored on God. We don't answer Machuku for nothing. We don't call ourselves Umuchineke for nothing. It is for a purpose, a divine purpose. That purpose is that Biafra will come in our time. My name is Nnamdi.
Islam is spreading violently through the Chad, Cameroon, possibility. There are people who are bad, those of them with very dubious, duplicitous intent. We identify you and we remove you. We don't need any contamination because we are incorruptible. Whiter than white itself and whiter than snow, that we may go and pursue Biafra in truth and honesty without retreating or surrendering, making sure that we get Biafra or we die in the process. One of the two must happen. And as I said, this year we march. Very, very critical, very, very important. Do you have what it takes? Some people talk about Biafra all the time. Oh, Biafra is, I'm a Biafran, I'm a hardcore, I'm a formidable Biafran. Do you have what it takes? We have announced those of you who are willing and able to support us to raise the necessary arms needed to prosecute this very campaign. Some of you, your names are not there. Some of your countries you are not mentioned. It means you're a plastic Biafran. You talk about Biafra because there is what I call Oshebe freedom fighting. You come out and you scream because others are screaming. Not that you have it in you to do anything. Because when the chips are down, you be found wanting. Some say they are watching, they are looking, they are by the sidelines. What are you doing on the sidelines? Our Fulani are coming for you. They are in your villages. They are raping your mothers and they are molesting your sisters. What can you do? Nothing. The time is now. If you believe that something needs to be done about the restoration of our country the way it was before the damnable, the dark entity called the Zoological Republic was created, now then do something about it. We can't allow Biafra to remain within Nigeria. If we do so, it will be suicide. It will be suicide because Islam will come. The same way Islam is gradually overtaking the whole of Europe, the same way Islam is everywhere in the northeastern part of Africa, the same way Islam is spreading violently through the Chad, Cameroon, Niger Republic, Benin Republic, and even the zoo courtesy of Boko Haram and their friends. The same way it will come to your backyard. And by the time it gets there, you will be forced to fight a defensive war. And because you're fighting from a renegade position, you will be defeated once again. And Sharia law and Islam will be entrenched where you come from. I know to some of you it will mean nothing because you are accustomed to hardship, because some of you are conditioned to be slaves forever. But fortunately, there is the IPOB family, Indigenous People of Biafra, that's our name. All over the world, the only people, as I keep saying all the time, proudly registered at the United Nations. And the only people to demonstrably attend their meeting as well. As I said, in the end, everybody wants to copy what we are doing. Everybody wants to be Radio Biafra. Everybody wants to be part of IPOB. That is why we blaze the trail. We do things and people copy. We announce things and people copy. All the time. They say imitation is the best form of flattery. That goes to show that what we're doing is working. And we have to rely on the help of some of you who don't talk too much, but you do so much to continue to do. Because we have just discovered our monthly dues and our defense fund is an indication that people talk. And sometimes they cannot match it with action. So that is why I said initially I only need 100 men. 100, even that is proving difficult to come by. Why? Because those of you who are bad outnumber those who are good in Biafra land. That is the problem. There are more bad people than good people. People make all of excuses for them, but the truth always prevails in the end. That is why we are here. And as long as we remain incorruptible, as long as the glory of heaven is upon us, there is no way that Biafra will not come, even with only 10 men. That is how assured I am. I'm not being reckless. I'm not being, how can I put it, complacent. I'm stating the obvious because Biafra is a divine calling. It is a spiritual thing. And that is why if you don't have it in you, you cannot do anything about it. If you are blessed or ordained to do this very work, then you are more than welcome. That is why with every gladness in my heart, I stated categorically that I can only do this by the grace of Chukwu Abiyama. Therefore, I am a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. I will go to the news headlines and accompanying summary, but before then, I have some very critical announcements to make. It is important that our people understand what we are facing. We are facing an enemy, an adversary that is well equipped and prepared and have been prepared for years. We are facing our Fulani hegemony. We are facing Yoruba complacency. Yoruba people will try everything they can because they are more than half is Muslim. They will try everything they can to tag on to Hausa people. So if you keep wondering, why is it that Yoruba will always side with Hausa people? It is because most Yoruba people are Muslims. So there is no day in life that Yorubas will support you. It will never happen. That is why if we allow the elections to hold, Jonathan will always lose. That is a fact of life. Jonathan will always lose. Even if he tries to rig it, it can never work. Yoruba will never ever vote for him. Why? Because they are producing the vice president. Understand the permutation and mathematics. Even today in Kaduna, they are burning, intimidating, and beating up PDP bus drivers. So no Hausa person will vote for Jonathan. That is key. And you come to Biafra land, Jonathan did nothing. Nobody will vote for him. And on the other side is an Islamist, a Sharia law advocate without a formal education, without any certificate. He will go in unless we act. And people are not listening. People think, I don't know how some of you who was looking for I think I can't put it in English. You became spoiled by the nonsense called peaceful agitation for Biafra. It allowed some of you to become criminals without knowing it. It allowed some of you to become liars and cheats and deceivers without knowing it. For anybody to rise up and say they are pursuing the freedom of Biafra peacefully or by peaceful means is another way of deceiving you. There is no way you can get your freedom by just talking or flying Biafran flag everywhere. The best you can do is to raise awareness. For you to get your country, you must engage the enemy. And what's that people set aside $18 billion? They said all the oil in Biafra land belongs to them. The oil in Anambra, the oil in Imo, the crude oil in Abia State, the crude oil in Akwa Ibom, the crude oil in Cross River, the crude oil in Bayelsa, the crude oil in Rivers, the crude oil in Delta. Hausa people says it belongs to them. Can you doubt them or can you argue with them? They have the proof because they own 96% of the oil block. Somebody in Zamfara. Some of them have never seen crude oil before in their lives. They own oil wells, making substantial amount of money from it. Yet they are beggars. Is that the type of life you want to lead forever? For an Hausa man from Sokoto to come to Eket and own an oil well, whereas people from Eket are doing houseboy, they are housemaid and house help. Do you think that is proper? Do you think that people in Katsina should be having fun importing thoroughbred horses from South America, traveling to Arab world to go and read Arabic studies, living in five-star hotels, when people from Nembe do not have electricity? Do you think that is proper? Do you think it is right for Haji Ibn Maguda to be the poorest part of Biafra land? You can never imagine. Go for Haji, you will use your two eyes to see what is happening there. Is that what you want? Because that is the life of a slave. That is the life of people without ambition. I pray to Chukwu Abiyama every blessed day to give Biafran people common sense. That's what I ask for. That they may see what is rightfully theirs and go and possess it. And for Chukwu Abiyama, if you know anybody with Hausa blood, either kill them or chase them away from Biafra land. They are the ones contaminating our land. That is why you don't have elders anymore. That is why you have greed, envy, and jealousy everywhere. If not for jealousy, why do you think that they will go to replicate exactly what we did on the 30th of May? Why? What Obiano is doing in Anambra, he knows, he read about it, that we built a cenotaph on the 30th of May. We unveiled to our veterans. Everybody knows that all over the world. But somebody had to do his own. It reminds me of, that is what I say about the mentality of Igbo people, that it is skewed. You don't know if you're dealing with a human being or the embodiment of envy and jealousy. That is why every monkey wants to start a radio station. They think it is easy. But I'm very glad they have discovered how difficult it is. And all they can do is to go and borrow programs from other people and keep repeating. Because once you open your mouth to speak live, people will dissect you. As the monkey in Germany discovered, nobody listens to him anymore. So now they understand it. But it's not very easy. They know how hard it is. I asked them to go and build one FM station in Biafra land and call it Biafra FM. I challenge them to go onto satellites and broadcast from there. They will understand how hard it is. But people love to copy. But they only copy very bad things. But I'm very glad that you are not copying a very good thing in this instance. By trying to get people together, they didn't call it Biafra, they said Igbo people. That is the problem. And once you add IGB, go to anything you do, that thing is marked for failure. Check it anywhere in the world. Igbo Union, Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, Nchikota Kandi Igbo, East Coast Ndi Igbo, anyhow you want to name it. Once you get together to do anything, it falls apart because the Spirit of God is no longer with you. Then with the help of Biafra, all the things will be restored. That is why we ask you wherever you are to remain very strong. You see, all of you that contributed to the Defense Fund, all of you that pay your monthly dues, you people are the real children of God. We know there are those who can't afford to. We know there are those who can't afford it. You understand that. If you can't afford it, because when we are very small, we go to church, there is a song that used to sing, if I don't have, I can give my money. I understand there are some people struggling, generally struggling in Europe. And in America, I understand that. I respect that. There are die-hard Biafrans. I acknowledge that. But how about those who can and fail to do something about it? Yet you will phone me, you will inbox me, you will email me, asking me to do something. How can I do something? Let me put it that way. Is that possible? The answer is no. You can't do that. Therefore, if you know you can help this very effort, there are two things you can do. Volunteer to fight in the army, or you support the army. It's as simple as that. This is Radio Biafra. We must therefore continue to go on to bring you our news headlines and accompanying summary. And in case you're looking to support what we are doing, we have other numbers, and one European number given to me, we must give it as.
Wow. We hear everything. As in Tokam, we understand them. I believe you hear them. Another abake jide ihe na-ata alụ. Nye Biafra taa, by the window. You are waiting to see when Biafra will come, so you will come and join. You know that happen like that. Anybody by now that is still waiting for miracle to happen and you are not working towards that miracle, you are a criminal and you are a saboteur. Ntike, Sabontike, that is who you are. I must tell us the truth. We must continue. We must continue. If you don't have, there is something you must do. It is no longer, I cannot do this, I cannot, you no get money, you no get mouth, you no get hand, you no get leg, you deceive yourself. You must do something. If you want freedom, you must do something. My people, I will stop this program here. We don't try. I will say from me, it's goodbye now. You hear with Maze and the Kalo talk. Maze, just give your closing remark.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Okay. So, out of abundance of heart, mouth have spoken, both negative and positive. We have
I am.
So we are no. It's okay. So we are no longer children, not to reason very well. As it is now, if you know how to pan, you pan inside
the carving wood. If you don't know how to pound, you pound on the floor. Okay? Somebody who has been able to liberate us know that he has siblings and he didn't appoint them, not even in a HMD or DOS. He didn't appoint them. Even when he was captured, he didn't even appoint them to take over Radio Biafra. He knew that Biafra is bigger than anybody else. He knew that Biafra is not a family business. He knew that Biafra requires only 100 men by divine call of Elohim. 100 men, he begged, give me 100 men. And one man said, in him are 50 men. Go and look for other 50 men. Why do you think he compared him to swear an oath of replacement when he's not there? He has not even seen this man face to face before, but he trusted him. When even he's captured, he appointed him take over the Biafra. Get me Biafra. That's all. He knew that he have siblings. He knew that they have in-laws. He didn't even appoint them. You see, my people, let us reason. This has gone beyond understanding. This Biafra of a thing that we are seeing is a spirit. It's a spirit. So he has even said before he was captured, the day he will go contrary to what he's pursuing, nobody should listen to him. So are you expecting us to listen to such a person in a DSS dungeon where he doesn't have freedom? My brother and my sisters, let's wake up now. It is time. Let me not take much of your time. All has been said. There's nothing to think about again. So like I said, they will from here. This is Biafra Butterfly TV. Thank you.
There were. Honorable Minister, you did there? You there, Anthony? Okay. Maybe he did the other. He did get advice, and I pray he say I will feel come back again, because this is where YouTube do this evening. The thing just weak me. All the three YouTube, yeah, the blocker. My own now. On my YouTube, they block all of them. Pia, no one there on. But we go win and we go to overcome. We go to overcome. We go to overcome. So, my people, we have this VOB. Our VOB is on. Is for the media. Try and follow us there. Try and follow us there. And you must follow Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile Prime Minister. Follow him. Twitter, follow him. Anywhere you hear him, follow him. Just the way you see this Mazenan the Gallo audio, I just find out where he did. Don't tell where they look from. I see him today, and now I will use him because he described everything. We would they do now, we would they talk now, we would they see now. Yes, describe all of them. So my people, I will say for now, goodbye for now until we come back again soon.
The silver jacket with Biafra come, Umokoko, mad people everywhere. What you don't know is bigger than you. 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 Hey, he depend me, yo, gaga. He depend me, yo, gaga. He depend me, yo, gaga. This your G, he depend me, yo, gaga. The worst thing you can do to a black man is to tell the black man the truth, yeah. The worst thing you can do to a black man is to tell the black man the truth, yeah. He depend me, yo, gaga. Mama, he depend me, yo, gaga. In this your G, he depend me, yo, gaga. Sabotu has he depend me, yo, for you. Obi daddy, obi them fools everywhere. Obi daddy, obi them fools everywhere. Obi daddy, obi them fools. bad guy, you know. What a master, love you. I can't have a go on. I get y'all away from me. All them enemies of Biafra. Mad people everywhere. You are living in darkness, suffering and smiling. When we talk about a freedom, now go to face. You are living in darkness, suffering and smiling. When we talk about a freedom, when I go to face. Yeah, he depend me for you. He depend me gaga. Africans, he depend me gaga. This your G, he depend me gaga. Ah, he depend me gaga. He depend me gaga. I don't know what's wrong with the reasoning ability of a black man. My God.